Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Angry Cast and No Man's Sky, the Road to Riches playthrough. This is it, folks. This is the last episode, and up until now, we have been recapping all of the steps we have done up until this point. Leaving the planet, getting all the items, unlocking stuff, setting up our bases, but now we're going to run through each individual setup for each base, of what you're going to need biodome-wise and plant-wise and extractor-wise for everything, all the amounts that you're going to need for the entire setup, and then we're going to go collect it all. So let's get to it. The first thing I think you should set up would be your oxygen base. And we're saying the oxygen base because we can use oxygen for so many other things as we've talked about before. But in this particular instance, it's talking about the condensed carbon. And in condensed carbon, we're going to need 12,000 condensed carbon, which means we need to have at least an oxygen deposit with one gas extractor and 24 supply depots, as well as a medium or large refiner, so that we can refine 24,000 oxygen into carbon and then 24,000 carbon into 12,000 condensed carbon. After that, I would say let's get set up with a pure ferrite farm, which is going to be 4,000 that we're going to need. You can do that simply in one of two ways, either getting a rusted metal deposit on a dead planet with one extractor and 2 supply depots with a refiner, or 4,000 pure ferrite can be obtained by having a magnetized ferrite deposit with 1 extractor and 2 supply depots, because 2,000 magnetized ferrite will refine down to 4,000. You can double your recipe, or double your output with 4,000 pure ferrite that way. Also, it's good to have them to help build all of the biodomes that you're going to need, because we're going to start into doing the dioxide, which is, first of all, in order to make the frost crystal, we're going to need dioxide, so we need 1,000 dioxide in order to set up the frost crystal farm, and that means 4 extractors or 1 extractor and 1 supply depot on a cold planet that has dioxide. And then we can set up our frost crystal base. Now, we should have the ability to make glass at this point, so you may have enough just to make the 10 biodomes. Again, use your terrain manipulator and refine that silica, the byproduct of using the terrain manipulator, into making glass until you get this set up. But we were going to need 8,000 frost crystal. That means 10 biodomes holding 16 each of the frostwork plants, which you will need 8,000 frost crystals and 4,000 dioxide to do. After that, let's talk about uranium. Uranium, that's going to help us make all of the gamma roots. And to do that, we're going to need 4 extractors or 1 extractor and 1 supply depot, because the extractors hold 250 of any resource, the supply depots hold 1,000. And then we can set up our gamma root farm, which is about 8,000 gamma root. We will need 10 biodomes holding 16 gamma weed each, which then we'll need 8,000 gamma weed and 4,000 uranium to build that base. Let's move on to the solar vines, which is 1,000. We need to set up a phosphorus base for 1,000 phosphorus, which will be, again, 4,000 extractors or 1 extractor and 4 supply depots, so that we can make the solanium or the solar vines to go into 10 biodomes, which will hold 16 solar vines each. And of course, we're going to need 8,000 selenium and 4,000 phosphorus to make that happen. Let's go on to pyrite. We're going to need 1,000 pyrite in order to set up our Echina cactus farm. In order to get 1,000 pyrite, we're going to need 4 extractors or 1 extractor and 4 supply depots. And then, of course, the cactus flesh, which I had a little bit of overkill because I didn't realize that you can get 100 cactus flesh from 1 Echina cactus. So we only need 5 biodomes each in order to get 8,000 cactus flesh, which is 16 biodomes, or 16 plants of the Echina cactus in each biodome, and which we will need 4,000 cactus flesh and 2,000 pyrite to set that up. Then, of course, paraffinium will help us with the star bulbs. Needed to set this up, we're going to need at least 4 extractors or 1 extractor and 1 supply depot in order to get 1,000 paraffinium. Then our star bulbs, this is the big honkin' one, 20 biodomes in order to produce 8,000 star bulbs. That means there's 16 star brambles in each biodome. And of course, to fully plant all of these, we're going to need 8,000 star bulbs and 4,000 paraffinium. Let's move on. Ammonia, 1,000 ammonia we're going to need. So again, that's 4 extractors or 1 extractor and 4 supply depots, picking up on a planet that has a pocket of ammonia gas. And then, of course, we will use that to make the fungal mold, which we will need 12,000. And please disregard my extra 0 there. But 12,000 fungal mold will be 15 biodomes each, holding 16 fungal clusters, which we will need 12,000. Yeah, I did it correctly there. 12,000 fungal mold and 6,000 ammonia to make that work. Then one of the last few ones we need is the fascium or fascium and mordite, which we only need 1,000 of one and 500 of the other. So that means 4 biodomes holding 24 mordite root plants and 40 gut rot flowers. Now to make this all happen, we're going to need 960 mordite and 1,600 fascium. All right, let's move on to the gases. Sulfurine, we need 20,000 of that, and in order to set that up, we're going to need 1 gas extractor and 20 supply depots. Again, I would highly suggest, upping the amount of gas extractors you have because it will take that much longer to extract 20,000 sulfurine with only 1. And then you can adjust your supply depots depending on that ratio. For the nitrogen, we only need 10,000 nitrogen, but we're going to need 1 gas extractor and 10 supply depots. Again, you can add as many gas extractors as you can handle for power-wise and offset your supply depots with that. Remember, 250 for each extractor, 1,000 for each supply depot. 20,000 radon, the big ticket here. We're going to need 1 extractor again and 20 supply depots, or add in more gas extractors and offset the supply depots that you need. Again, it's about time. It's how much time do you want to waste and how much power do you have to waste it on. Lastly, the last base we will need to set up is for ionized cobalt. Now you can find cobalt as a resource to extract mineral extraction, and you will need 1 extractor on a cobalt hotspot and 8 supply depots plus a refiner that can do at least a large or medium. And I say that just because we can multiply. Otherwise, if the 8,000 cobalt that you will get out of this base, you can then refine in your backpack or in a portable refiner down to 4,000 ionized cobalt. Again, it's how much time do you want to take doing it? Okay, let's go do this. Let's hit every single spot and grab all the items we need. We are currently at a very good base. Mongol. The Mongols are here, apparently. No, fungal mold prime. But let's start off by going to dioxide, radon prime, because we do need dioxide and we do need radon. Okay, it's of course nighttime here, but we should be able to still get everything we need. I think we needed 1,000 dioxide. We got 1,250. And we needed 20,000 radon. We only got 14,000. So we are not get the full complement of radon because we have got no dedicated power sources. It's all based off of batteries and solar panels, so it takes a little longer, but that's not a problem. We can make more because we know how to with the refining stuff. Let's head to the next one. Let's see here. Let's go to Gamma Weed Prime. Alrighty, just run through every single biodome, pick up everything. Okay, and that gives us a total of 8,000 gamma weed, and we need gamma roots, and we needed total 8,000. All right, head to the next one. Whoops. Rusted metal, frostwort prime. Alright. This is low gravity planet, which are always fun. Also running off of very little power because you cannot get, for some reason I can't extend. I'm supposed to be able to extend by putting a structure somewhere out close to the edge of the thing, but it is definitely not allowing me to do so. So you may want to make sure that when you set up your bases, you definitely have a dedicated power source nearby, your within reach, that you can have your mining operations, your gas extraction operations being fueled by that instead of having to rely on any other type of power. Oop, there we go. Oh, I took it outside because it was sucking all the available power. Alright. Let's see here. Rusted metal. Very good base. We'll come to that one last. Let's go to oxygen Starball Prime. Now, I would say you will need a couple others, but we'll talk about that in a second. Alrighty. This is our star bulb. Place this, and then you're going to need twice as many star bulb. Instead of having 10, you're going to need 20 biodomes, because star bulb, you only collect, instead of collecting the full amount, you only get 40, I believe, or 25 instead of the entire 50 from it, like everything else. So you will have to set up additional, 10 additional, or spread them out to 2 different bases. But then again, that means more travel time. Like I said, was trying to say before we started traveling, was that you will probably want to set up 2 dedicated sites with oxygen and cobalt being mined, because you're going to need that to make the condensed carbon in mass, as well as the ionized cobalt. You can, I would say, start at those locations, and you can, I think you can have 2 large refiners in the same room. Just set both of those to go with one with oxygen and all of the condensed carbon that you have, and then set the other one to all the ionized cobalt that you have, and the other half of oxygen, so that you can get the needed 12,000, I believe, of each. 12,000 condensed carbon and 12,000 ionized cobalt. Oh, I'm sorry, you only need 4,000 ionized cobalt, and I was wrong. So, don't matter. Have all, have extra. Have it line about. Can't hurt. Alright, we got all this. Let's go to the next one. You can see the more I'm getting bogged down, the more biodomes I have here. So, okay, let's go to Paraffinium Prime. Alright. Uh-oh, gotta get out of here quick. Pick up our 1,250 paraffinium. We only need 1,000. And let's go. Uranium 1. Oop, no, that's not the one I want to go to. Crap. Okay, well, here's where I meant to go. Uranium Prime. And I believe this is also Fascium and Mordite. This is what we did as a circular fashion. Because there was only 4 or 5 that we needed, making it a lot easier. And then we'll go get the uranium we have being collected outside, which we only needed 1,000, but we got 1,250 because that's the standard, supply depot plus the extractor itself. All right, moving on. Pyrite Prime. Whee! Alrighty. 1,250, of which we only need 1,000. Good to go. Let's get out of here. Nitrogen Prime. Okay, this is one we got to watch out for. I set this one up to have 20 instead of I only needed 10,000. So, oops, my bad. Yeah. And it's also a problem to get in here, and the Sentinels are bad too. So one thing I will say, like I said, about having the cobalt condensed carbon and the cobalt, ionized cobalt, is that I would maybe set up those to go first so that you pick up those items and put them into your refiners and start them running while you run around to all the other bases, because we're going to be going to a lot of other bases in this method, and while you're doing that, it can be refining everything, so you don't have to stand there and wait for it, because you need at least 2, so you can't use it on your back. So that's why I would say that. Let's say Phosphorus Prime. I am Phosphorus Prime. Alright. It's 1,250 phosphorus, of which we only need 1,000. Drop it in. Let's get in. They hit Ammonia Prime. And unfortunately, this is another one of those that require solar power, because they do not have enough to run off. I have no close by electrical source, like an electromagnetic source, and unfortunately I didn't set up a damn thing because I'm so close to the other base, so we're going to just fly back to the original. This was what, Nitrogen 1, where we first started out, way back when. Oh, memories. Of course, we needed 1,000 ammonia, and we got 1,250. Now we're going to go hit the big one, sulfurine and selenium magnetized ferrite. Okay. Let's get all the selenium. And of course, you have we have an entire operation to mining up magnetized ferrite. Why do we have that? It's because at some point you need to use pure ferrite in the recipes for both the Stasis device and the Fusion Igniter, and therefore, because of that, you will need to, a healthy supply of pure ferrite. Well, if you don't have enough ferrite on hand, or you don't have a rusted metal mining operation like I do, the magnetized ferrite on this planet, or any planet like this where you can pick it up, you can refine it down to pure ferrite at a 2-to-1 or 1-to-2 yield. So this would ultimately be, we need 4,000. This will be 8,500. So that alone will get us enough. And then as for the sulfurine, we need 20,000, and we got 21,000 here, so we're good there. Alright, let's go to the next one. Let's get to the next one. A kind of cactus. Copper Prime. It's another one of these that are very hard to be out and about because it's high sentinel activity area, and I do have a copper producing mining operation, but I don't necessarily need it. Not for this anyways, but it's good to have those set up. So let's get all the Arcana cactus. Cactus flesh. Alrighty, that gets us a total of 10,000, 16,000 total, of which we needed 8,000. I might have overdone it a little bit. Whoop, don't need to go there, need to go here. And that is pretty much, I think, everything. Let me check. Let's see what we got here. No, we don't have the fungal mold. Oh, we have to go back to pick up the fungal mold, don't we? That's right. Gonna go back to the beginning. Okay, let's see how our refiners are going here. We've got 12,000, over 12,000 condensed carbon, of which we need 12,000. And we have, oh, even more than that. Okay. Nice. What do we have in the way of it's cobalt? I believe we have plenty of it. We've got 16, at least 16,000, of which we only needed 4,000, so we've got a healthy amount of that. Let's go ahead and get all of the fungal mold here. And again, if you come up short in any of your calculations, or my calculations, if we come up short, we refine them with the extras of other things we have. Especially, like I said, we're going to come up short on the radon, but I can run some sulfurine through the refiner and just get enough radon to finish off. Especially because, like I said, we don't have a lot of bases that have dedicated power sources. We're using solar panels, and sometimes they come up a little bit shy. So let me throw some. Let's see here. Let's see here. Sulfurine. We needed what? We needed what? 20,000 sulfurine. We've got 9, 10, 10. I mean, that'll give us 500. How much did we need? We've got 50. We need to do another. I think I have it. I think I'm good. Just gotta get out of the damn. I can't get out of my base. Hold on a second. Okay, I've got all of the stuff that I need. I made a little extra. So now I should have. I got. What do I got here? I got 10,000, 12,000 fungal mold. I need 12,000. Let's go ahead and do it. This is it. This is all the marbles right here. Let's go ahead. Now, of course, this is where it gets a little bit tedious. It's using the craft steps visualize crafting, because we have to go through each one of these 20 times. Now, if I could just note on which ones I needed here and make 20 of these, 20 of these, 20 of these, just keep going through, make 20 of these items, and then craft them just from my, from here, because this way, we could do it here, but we have to know what goes into them. So of course we know, oh, we need a quantum processor, cryogenic chamber, and iridescite. Well, what's a quantum processor needs? But, I gotta go find it first of all. That's part of the problem that you run into with this. A quantum processor, of course, is a microprocessor, or that's a quantum computer. What's a quantum processor? Again, this tends to be a little bit harder to suss out when you're creating these things. So it's just easier to do it through the view craft steps, because all of the things are there that you need. So I suggest just doing it that way. So instead of the quantum crosspath is, of course, a circuit board and semiconductor, or superconductor. Well, we have to make those things. Those take other steps, and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and just hit each one of these. Here we go. One of these suckers. Boom. Now we gotta do that 19 more times. Along with doing the Fusion Igniter, which is going to be the same amount of steps this way. And again, 19 more times. So let's go ahead and do that, and maybe we'll speed up this tape. How about that? And I actually found out that you can do multiple products at one time. So I can make 20 acid, and I can make 20 gels, and I can make 20 liquid explosives, and I can make 20 of each of those items, and then go all the way up to the top, making 20 of the 3 secondary products that make into the Fusion Igniter, as well as the Stasis device, and then go into my regular inventory and then make the 20 there, and it goes much, much faster. This entire thing took me, I think, 30 minutes to do all 20 before I sped it up, and then I found this method, and I still have to speed it up, but it took probably about half the amount of time. Okay, that's it. We got 20 Fusion Igniters, and we got 20 Stasis Devices, and despite some shortcomings on some of my formulas, which I'll have to go back and check later, we have some little bit of stuff left over. So, that being said, we're not done yet, because, quite frankly, I could sell them right here. And the unfortunate part, though, is that there is a negative 1.1% drop on the demand for Stasis Devices, and a negative 3.3% demand on Fusion Igniters. However, we go to we find one of our locations that we have found, which has a an economy that is pretty well. The prospecting adequate, scientific developing high voltage adequate, or processing unsuccessful. You look for one that is up and coming, and you will have commercial opulent. Our start up system. We can go back to that base, that space station, and sell them there at a decent amount. Okay, so we are at the, what do you call it, a getter up? Who knows? get her up. Get her up, space station. Space station. And we can go to the Galactic Trade Console. And our Stasis Device is still negative 1.3. And the Fusion Igniter is plus 1.5. However, we go find someone who has entered into the space station and sell directly to them, we might get a better deal. So we'll just wait for somebody to show up. Okay, healthy supply of people. Healthy supply of folks to trade with. Let's see what we can do here. Hello. Perfect. Prefect. Sorry. But you're perfect to me. Alright. We can sell. Still negative 1.3% demand on that. But still, and plus 1.5 demand on that. I think it's going to be the same no matter who we talk to. But we can find out, maybe. See if you get any better. I doubt it. But if you find a good system to sell these things in, yep, negative 1.3 demand and plus 1.5. So let's go ahead and set. So it's still 316 million for those 20. And 307 million for those 20. $655 million just from all that. So yeah, you can definitely decide to not start the main quests and just go ahead and do this, and you will be rich enough to do whatever you want, and then every day repeat that and you'll have tons of money. So there you go. There you go. All right, that's it for now. I'm gonna go fix some things, and if you like what you see, please consider subscribing to the channel. Send me send me comments, likes, whatever you want. You can, hey, go in the links below, buy me a coffee, buy some merch, and if you want to see more, please let me know and we will do so. We'll talk to you next time. Have a good one. Bye bye.